Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm making a video a lot different than what I usually do. I am going to be showing all of the vast similarities between the Alabasta and the Dressrosa arc. Kibby Thickfat came up with this idea and I started looking into it, and it turns out that there is a ridiculous amount of similarities. I had no idea about, I'm looking at some of the stuff and I cannot believe what I'm even seeing. It's like Dressrosa was written so well that it seems like everything just fit in perfectly, and it wasn't like he was purposely trying to do this because I didn't notice at all. But at the same time, they're like so blunt and obvious. Now I'm just like, what? Again, this isn't like the same kind of video I usually do, so I'm just gonna like name them off in whatever order I think makes sense, I guess. If I find one of them particularly interesting or just have some kind of comment on it, I'll pause and just say whatever I'm wanting to say. So without further ado, I'm gonna stop my blabbering and let's get into this shit. Both of the main antagonists are the head of some kind of organization and are also warlords. Both of them are considered beloved by the citizens of their respective countries, even though they're actually the bad guys. In both arcs, they use some kind of illegal substance, Alabasta being dance powder and Dressrosa being SAD. In both arcs, the citizens eventually started hating their king because they got set up by the antagonists. Each has an officer that uses some kind of devil fruit ability which allows them to fight by going underground. In Alabasta, Miss Merry Christmas had the ability to turn into a mole, which allowed her to dig underground, of course. And in Dressrosa, I don't think I need to remind anyone who this was, since he was clearly the favorite character of the arc, Señor Pink. He had the ability to swim in the ground. I don't really know how you define that ability, but yeah, he just could swim in the ground. I never really understood how the devil fruit ability could like recognize that something is the ground too, or is that even how it works? Like, could he theoretically swim in anything? Could he swim inside of a person, and how would this affect their well-being? Like, if he could just swim inside someone, would that just like make all their organs disappear and they would just be dead? Coming out this Friday, we have Why Señor Pink is the most overpowered character in One Piece. Both had an officer that had a devil fruit that had to do with some kind of explosions, Alabasta being Mr. 5 and Dressrosa being Gladius. And this one I'm about to say was disgustingly obvious. Both had an officer with some kind of ability to change their weight. Alabasta had Miss Valentine, while Dressrosa had Machweiss. Alabasta had Mr. 2, while Dressrosa had Dellinger, who are both pretty feminine guys, I guess is the best way to describe it. In both arcs, Luffy gets to once again meet a different one of his brothers. This one has to be one of my favorite of the ones I've said so far. I didn't even really think about how Ace came in Alabasta and Sabo and Dressrosa, but yeah, I mean, I guess it did happen that way. Obviously, just like Dressrosa is a far superior arc, Sabo is a million times better, greatly superior brother than Ace, but I mean, who's really counting? In both arcs, there was some kind of rebellion which was trying to destroy the current government that was in place. And lastly on this list, when Luffy defeated Crocodile, he did so by launching him into the air, and when he defeated Doffy, he took him from the air and launched him to the ground. And actually, more specifically, they were underground when Luffy destroyed Crocodile and launched him into the air, and when they were in the air and Luffy launched Doffy into the ground, Doffy went far underground, so it's just kind of like a reverse. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything I could find on this topic. I can't even really take credit for finding any of this either, because, like, all of this information was just on this one website that I found, so I guess I'll link that in the description. I think it's really cool that Oda decided to do something like this, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if we actually find out that there's a lot of similarities between the Enies Lobby arc and the current Whole Cake Island arc that's going. Mainly because in Enies Lobby, you know, Robin like left the crew and then they all had to go rescue her and she didn't want to, but then they made her come back anyway. And the same exact thing is happening in Whole Cake Island, where Sanji left without permission, then Luffy came to get him and Sanji's like, no. And then Luffy's like, yes. And now Sanji's kind of back. It's not technically over, but he agreed to come back. But besides that, I haven't really seen any similarities. Like, it's pretty different arcs in general, especially since in Enies Lobby they were fighting against the world government, where in Whole Cake Island they're fighting against an emperor. The closest thing I would really say is a similarity there would be that, like, Luffy's final boss opponent is way stronger than him, but Luffy actually beat Lucci, and he can't beat Big Mom. So I don't think that that's really a similarity. Sorry this was a shorter video. I've never really done a video like this before, nor is there really that much information for me to actually cover. I mean, I could have stretched it out longer and just taken like 3 times as long for every piece of information I gave you guys, but I don't know why you want me to waste your time like that. So yeah, I hope it wasn't too bad. Let me know what you guys think. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. On Friday, I will have out the new and improved version of the How Kaido Could Potentially Be a Poneglyph video. That is actually the first One Piece video that I uploaded onto this channel, and it did amazing compared to every other video after it for a while, so I'm pretty excited to do this again. I also think I even have a few more points to add to it, so it will definitely be an improved version. So yeah, look forward to that, guys, and I guess I'll talk to you Friday.